In this video, I'm excited to talk about we are halfway through the year. We've got 6 months left in the year, and 6 months is so much time to create massive changes in your life. So what you're going to specifically get from this video is a bunch of journal prompts, a bunch of powerful questions to ask yourself to help you understand yourself at a deeper level, understand kind of what's kept you from getting what you truly desire in the past, and some questions that will help you uncover what really needs to change for you to get what you want over the next 6 months. So my name is Courtney Gray. I'm a body and life coach. I really help women get what they want really out of their body and their life. And I think that both are connected. I think there's so many women that are feeling like they're not really showing up for themselves in the way they want to in their lives. And when to get even more specific is there's so many women that are not eating in a way that feels aligned with their goals. They're not maybe drinking in a way that feels aligned with their goals. And even maybe their daily habits. I know I have a lot of people telling me that they're scrolling way more than they want to. They're going to bed way more than they, later than they want to. And maybe they keep telling themselves they're going to get stronger and they're not. So you've got 6 months left in the year, and I want you to really feel empowered, and these questions are going to help you feel empowered to really make permanent changes. So let's take a moment before I dive into these questions and really have you identify what you wanted for this year. And whenever you're watching this video, right now it's 2026, but I know this video is going to be out there for a long time, and I'm hoping it's like 2028 and you're getting this video and maybe it's 3 months into the year, maybe it's 9 months into the year, and you're like, yeah, I said at the beginning of the year I was going to make this change and I haven't. So just take a moment, and not from a place of, oh, I always do this, but from a place of, I haven't done it, let's get curious why. What are the things that are stopping you? And so if you have to pause and journal for just a second and what do you think is really stopping you? And pause for a moment. And let me guide you to thinking, what are the thoughts that are stopping you? And for a lot of my clients, and I know for me in the past, is their thoughts like, I don't have time for this. I've got too much on my plate. This isn't the right time for this. And for me, one thought that always comes up for me, and I do this work all the time, and I've accomplished so much in my life, and I continue to go to my own next level, but my primitive brain likes to tell me it doesn't matter. My primitive brain really likes to tell me it doesn't matter when I'm in the moment where I'm supposed to make a good choice, where I'm supposed to be doing that thing that feels like I'm in alignment, whether it's eating better, moving my body, doing a video that I promised I was going to, anything that brings up a little bit of a, what am I going to say? What am I going to eat? Any kind of that decision, my primitive brain steps in, and so does yours. What is your primitive brain saying to you? It's really important to understand what our primitive brain is saying to us, because then we can start separating ourselves from that voice. Because I'll tell you something that I didn't know a long time ago, is that voice sounds like us. It just sounds like you changing your mind. So take a moment, even if you just journal for 2 or 3 minutes, what has stopped me thus far in really doing what I truly desire, and what are the excuses that come up? So as I am doing this video, the reason why I chose to do this video right now, it is literally today, July 1st. And what comes up with so many people and so many of my clients is all of a sudden we're in kind of the beginning to middle of summer, and we have a thought that really does not serve us. And the thought is some iteration of, if I'm going to do the things I'm going to do to reach my goals, eat better, move more, make a plan, restrict in any possible way, get in a calorie deficit, whatever, if I'm going to do that, I'm missing out on the fun. So some iteration of that, if I really want to live life to the fullest, I want to just enjoy my life, I can't be eating better, I can't be thinking about food, I don't want to think about this. So because of that thought, so many people are telling themselves right now that they're going to wait until the end of August. They're like, you know what, I'm going to wait till summer's over, and then I'm going to start really taking my health seriously. And for a moment, they're going to get relief. They're going to be like, oh, that feels good. And the thing that's interesting is everyone around them usually is going, they're not necessarily agreeing out loud, because this is an internal decision. It's not something we say. We're not at a barbecue and we don't just go, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to enjoy my my life. That's not usually what happens. It's an internal decision where we just say, why am I doing this? Everyone's having fun without me. I'm missing out. Yes, I will have another margarita. It's a very quick internal decision. And then we see people say, good for you. Yes, we just need to enjoy our lives. One thing, this is a total side note, is that I see what happens a lot is when we see people around us passing away and bad things happening and life being life around us. I see a lot of people going, oh my God, you just never know. You never know when life is going to end. Life can be so short. We really need to just enjoy each day. Yes to all of that. But what most people subconsciously mean by that is, let's not worry about our health. Let's not worry about eating better right now. Let's not worry about drinking less right now. Let's just give in to our primitive brain and do whatever we feel like doing right now. And I say no to that because I know that for me, the best way I can truly live my best life, the best way I can enjoy all areas of my life is to actually live in alignment, which means I am making decisions every single day. They're not perfect decisions. I'm not saying no to all the delicious food, but I'm eating better than I used to. And now I'm in a body that feels so much better. So what happens is people say, I'm going to wait till the end of August because it's summer and I need to enjoy myself. And then what happens? The end of August comes and then they realize, oh, you know what? I really should just wait till the end of Labor Day because we're doing a Labor Day celebration. That's really when summer ends anyways. I'm going to wait till after Labor Day. So then after Labor Day starts and then all of a sudden they start usually going on a diet for most people. We have a big diet culture that tells us the only way we can really lose weight is if we go on a diet and be completely restrictive. So we go on a diet, maybe we take out alcohol for 30 days, whatever it is, and then we get some progress. It's starting, stopping, maybe we lose some weight, but then we slowly start gaining it back because what happens is all of a sudden we start getting close to Halloween or the holidays, if Halloween's not a big deal to you, but we start coming up with excuses why that this isn't the right time again. It's almost like, you know what, now we're getting into the holidays and I really just want to enjoy my holiday. I don't want to think about all this. And then what happens is we say, you know what, next year, at the beginning of the year, I'm going to really start again. I'm going to really lock in. Okay. So then we lock in at the beginning of the year. And then what happens for a lot of people by even like midway through January, they're exhausted. I especially see this with women, and here's what happens. We go through the holiday season, and you know, as women, there's a lot on us. We take on too much, and there's a lot on us. We usually are working, or we're the stay-home mom of multiple children, or we are buying gifts for all the family, your partner's family, all your friends. We're overdoing it. We're saying yes when we mean no too many times. And so then by January 1st, we're still pretty exhausted. And so all of a sudden we lock into going usually on a diet, we lock in, and then all of a sudden by mid-January, we feel like we never really got a break. And so then we tell ourselves, you know what, I just can't do this right now. I need a break. And then all of a sudden mid-February, all of a sudden I could keep going on. It's going to lead us back to summer where we're telling ourselves again that now is not the right time and we're missing out if we're eating better, drinking better, moving more. So for this reason, now is the best time to do this work. I've had women do this work where they get in their best health ever without dieting, just by eating better, moving more, living in alignment the way you truly want to be proud of yourself every day. I've had women do this in the middle of summer. I've had women start this at the beginning of December. There is no better time for this. The time is now, because what needs to happen is you need to learn how to eat better, move more, be your healthiest self, even in the midst of holidays and chaos and stress and animals passing away and unexpected bills and crisis with the economy, crisis with politically, right? We can't tell ourselves that we're going to wait until everything is perfect because then we don't learn how to show up for ourselves when things are not perfect. One of the best ways for you to end the year or do this work with me, where you are really becoming a woman who makes the decision and sticks with it, becoming a woman who every day is living in a way that she feels like aligns her with her goals. So for you to do that, the best way for you to do that is to get really aware of what's going on with yourself, aware of your thoughts, aware of your feelings, aware of why sometimes you mess up, why you have good intentions, but then you don't follow through. We need to increase your awareness. And there's no better way of doing that. There's actually probably two ways. I'm going to talk about journaling today. And if you don't like journaling, don't leave me, because I'm going to really take the mystery out of journaling, and it can literally be journaling like on a mini sheet of paper for less than 5 minutes. So so stay with me. If you love journaling, you're going to love this. But if you don't love journaling, you're also going to love this. So journaling is one of the ways we can really understand ourselves at a deeper level, which is where we can make real change. The other way is meditation. That's going to be another video, because I have a lot to say about meditation as well. But journaling is a really powerful way to understand yourself at a deeper level and create massive change in your life. So I created for my membership, I have a membership. It's called the Aligned Life Membership. It's $97 a month. There are dozens of women in this membership, and we are doing this work together of living an aligned life, meaning we are doing things every single day that is moving towards our goals. So it's not a diet, it's not perfect eating, it's how can we do better and lose weight if we want to lose weight, move our body more, get stronger without being perfect, without shaming ourselves, with like living life the fullest. All of it, everything, all the videos I have on my YouTube account are all very similar to what we work on in the Aligned Life membership. It's my lowest price offer. It is a amazing group of women who were doing this work together. So I created them for the month of July. I created this journal, like I call it a reflection journal. The name of it is Conversations with Myself. The reason why I made this journal for them, and they all got one this month, is because some women I have in my program, and I've worked with before, who love journaling. They take an hour every morning, they dive in, and they really see the power in it. Amazing. More often than not, I have women that they want to journal, but they go to journal and they don't really know what to do. So maybe they're either telling themselves like this has to be an hour-long process when it really doesn't, or they're telling themselves I don't know what to write, and they end up kind of writing almost like they're writing a memoir of like what they did or what they're going to do, and they're like, this doesn't really feel as good as Courtney says it's supposed to feel. They just don't know what to do. So I created a journal where it has sections. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. If you want the journal, please join us in the membership. I specifically made it for July, but I think that it is really going to be a powerful resource for all year. I'm planning on printing this out every month and using it every month to keep going to my own next level. But what I did with this journal is I created some sections, and I'll tell you a few of the sections. One of the sections is understanding yourself. Another one of the sections is courage. Another one of the sections is possibility. And so there's a bunch more sections. Each section has like about 10 questions, 10 journal prompts. So there's probably over 50 to 60 to 70 journal prompts in this book. And it doesn't mean you have to do all of them, because that sounds really overwhelming. But what it means is you say, okay, I have about 5 minutes. I want to journal. I don't even really know what do I journal about? What do I feel like I need? And you look over all the sections and you're like, possibility. I think that I need to believe that this is possible, that what I want is possible for me. And then you go to the possibility section and you start reading over the questions, and the question that lights you up, you journal on. So this morning I did this. I'm like, okay, which one do I want to, where do I want to go? And I saw possibility and I go, yes, I want to journal on possibility. And I looked at the first question. Okay, what do I truly desire and why? I've answered that question a lot. It doesn't necessarily light me up. But then I read the second question. What would change if I truly believed I could have this? And I actually almost started crying. And so I thought, we have a winner. We have a winner. So then I went to the back and I wrote the question down and I started journaling. I said, here's what I want. And what would change if I truly believed that I could have this? And I got a little emotional and I said, what would I do today? And the first thing I wrote, I'm going to read it to you. I said, what would change if I truly believed this was possible? I changed the wording a little bit, but I said, because I just was going from memory. I said, immediately, I wouldn't worry. I would be more peaceful and calm and proud. And it literally makes me even a little emotional as I'm reading it. And that's what happened to me this morning. And then I went on to write a little bit more. This is the amount of writing that I did this morning. I had a really busy morning. I didn't have time to sit for an hour. I wasn't drinking my coffee and lighting a candle and doing all that. I was just getting it done. And I went from a little subconscious worried Courtney to a Courtney that was centered and calm and like, this is possible for me. I'm not going to worry about this. And I went on with my day. And that energy shift changes the way I show up for my day. It makes me take my to-do lists more seriously. It makes me feel more beautiful feelings as I go about my day. It makes me remember any time today that worry starts to come up, I thought, well, wait a minute. If I truly believed I could have this, I wouldn't worry. So how can I not worry about this? What would I do if I wasn't worried? I can go back to it all day. So this is a really powerful tool, and I want to give you a bunch of more questions that are in this journal from the different sections. And I would suggest writing them down for yourself. So the first question, what story am I telling myself right now? Is this true? So if you're new to me, you might hear that and say, what do you mean, what story am I telling myself? We are constantly, as we go throughout our day, telling ourselves stories. And I say telling ourselves stories, I could also say having thoughts. But I don't know about you, but if I'm real honest with myself, as I walk through my day, after I finish this call, I'm going to walk into the kitchen and then I'm going to pack my car, I'm going to do these things. And I feel like I'm narrating a story to myself. Okay, I really need to hurry after this call and get in the car because I don't want to be out, want to get stuck in traffic. Oh, I'm kind of hungry. I don't know what I'm supposed to be eating. And this is a story. It's almost like we're telling a story to people. So I like to think of my thoughts as stories. What stories are you telling yourself? So if we look back to me this morning, I was kind of telling myself a story without even realizing it, that there was a lot to be worried about because I'm not sure if what I truly desire is possible for me. And I know that story was happening for me because when I read that question, I got a little emotional. So if someone would have said to me 5 minutes after I journaled, what story were you telling yourself this morning that wasn't helpful? I would have said, I was telling myself that what I wanted for myself was not really possible. That's the story I was telling. So is this true? Most of the stories we tell ourselves are not true. They're not factual. They're just stories. They're usually based on our past. They're usually based on what people have told us growing up is possible for us. They're usually based on what we see around us being possible. The stories we tell ourselves matter. We need to tell ourselves better stories. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up writing a little bit more in that journal about the story I wanted to tell myself on purpose. Here's the next question. What would it look like to have both enjoyment and progress today? This goes back to the reason why I made this video is so many people throughout different times of the year, they tell themselves, I really can't have both. I can't have weight loss and fun. I can't have only one cocktail and really enjoy myself. I can't have a relaxing holiday if I'm going to the gym at the hotel. They really feel like they can't have both. I can't have an amazing holiday and eat better than I used to. So not true. So what would it look like for you to have both enjoyment and progress today? If you're getting ready to go on a vacation, how can you enjoy that vacation even more? And every day when you're on vacation, move your body more than you've ever done on vacation. How can that be enjoyable? It totally can. I'll tell you the main way to get enjoyment while you're also getting progress is because if you show up in a way that you feel really good about, the enjoyment comes from how good you feel at the end of the day. You're like, oh my God, usually when we come to Hawaii, I just lay all day. But I woke up in the morning and I went on a walk on the beach. And then I was in the pool and I did egg beaters while I was hanging out with my family. And then right after dinner, I told my husband, hey, let's go for a walk around the property. Amazing. Maybe you decided tonight after dinner, you're like, you know what, I was going to have dessert, but that dessert doesn't look that good to me. Maybe I'm just not going to have it. How good would that feel? That's enjoying and making progress at the same time. Next question. What kind of woman am I becoming? Here's what I will tell you. We are always becoming something. We are always reconfirming something. There's always compounding results happening. So long ago, when I was eating too much, not eating the right things, starting to drink too much, I was slowly seeing my weight very slowly creep up, creep up, creep up. And it got to about 12, 15 pounds. And I was like, what's happening here? I'm like, I'm not headed in a good place. So in that moment, I would have answered, what kind of woman am I becoming? I'm becoming a woman who's unconscious in the moment and she really doesn't like how she feels in her body. She doesn't like the way she looks in her body. She doesn't like the way she feels. She's going to bed and she's stuffed and she has indigestion and she's gassy and all these kind of things. So if you keep going, doing the things you're doing now, what kind of woman are you becoming? If we project even 6 months out, where are we going to be? And are you thrilled? You can be thrilled if you'd like to be. I choose to think that what I'm doing today in 6 months, I'm going to be thrilled. It's a very powerful thing. Last thing I said under this question is we are becoming something. We might as well guide our own ship to going where we want to go. Okay, next question. What evidence do I already have that I can do hard things? I think for a lot of people, eating better, just that one example, eating better feels really hard, especially in the moment. But you're already doing hard, right? In so many ways. How have you already done hard things? If you're a mom, dude, I think being a mom is one of the hardest things we can do. Loving someone so much and letting them make their own decisions and fail and all the chaos it causes in our mind. Such a hard thing. What else have you done that's hard? Was college hard? Was giving birth hard? I'll tell you one thing that's really hard. I think it's really hard to walk in your closet and be very frustrated getting dressed. I think it's hard when someone wants to take a picture of you and you sit there and you have this panicky feeling because you feel like you don't really look good in the pictures. And so you're trying to position yourself, people in front of you. That's hard. I think it's hard to feel like you're disappointed with yourself every night when you go to bed, when you told yourself you were going to eat better, but then you didn't. I think it's hard when you go to the doctor and they start telling you, hey, if you don't kind of get this under control, you're going to have to go on this medicine or that medicine. That's hard. So you're already doing hard things. I want you to see that. I just want you to do the hard things that are in alignment with where you want to go. Next question. Would feeling this discomfort get me closer to what I desire? So this discomfort goes along with another question that's in the Conversations with Myself journal book. So let me explain it. I tell my clients all the time, what feeling of discomfort are you going to have to allow in the moment to stick to your plan? So if you say to yourself, I'm going to, on 4th of July, we're coming up on 4th of July, I'm going to be on 4th of July and I'm only going to have 3 drinks the whole day. When maybe normally you'd have 8, right? Maybe you'd start drinking at 10. I know a lot of people on 4th of July start drinking early and end up drinking a lot and they don't love it. And so you're like, I'm going to have 3 all day and I'm going to do seltzers in between, a lot of seltzers, like club sodas in between. I'm just going to, right? So I'd say, what negative emotion, what feeling of discomfort are you going to have to be willing to feel? And so what you're probably going to have to be willing to feel is you're going to have the thought, I feel like I'm missing out. That's going to be the thought. And the feeling is going to be sad or frustrated or antsy. You're going to have to be willing to feel that. But if you allow yourself to feel that and stick to your plan, will it get you closer to the woman you want to become? I believe it will. So that is the job, is can you be willing to feel some negative emotion, to feel more positive emotion overall in your body and your life? Next question. What is going well that I've not given myself credit for? This is really important because we have a brain that is biased to the negative. Remember, we have a primitive brain that wants to keep us safe, so it is always scanning for danger. And our primitive brain thinks anything new is dangerous. It's like, oh, we don't know how that's going to work out. Danger, danger. So your brain wants to keep you repeating the same things you're doing that's been keeping you alive. You want to eat the same things, drink the same things. Your primitive brain does not want you getting healthier, losing weight, having better habits. It just doesn't. And so we need to guide ourselves to say, wait a minute, what is going well that I've not given myself credit for? Because my primitive brain is always looking for the negative. I have to force it to look to the positive. So what is going well that I've not given myself credit for? What would make this the best month yet? You can ask yourself that question at any moment throughout the year. What would make this the best month yet? And usually whatever question you come up with really quickly is the answer. Maybe it's, I would lose 5 pounds without dieting. Maybe it's, I would start lifting heavier weights. I'm scared, but I know I can do it. Maybe it's, I would join Courtney's program, the Aligned Life membership, and I would just dive into doing this work. Maybe it's, I would hire a personal trainer. I keep telling myself I'm going to, and I feel like I need an accountability. Maybe that would be it. Maybe it would be if I started journaling every day and just talk to myself nicer. So what would make this the best month yet? Last question for you. What do I want to keep doing that's working for me? Again, this is about guiding your mind to the positive. Often we're looking at all the things we're not doing a good job at, but what are you doing well? Do you drink a lot of water? Do you go to bed at a good time? Do you have really good habits? Do you wash your face and take care of your teeth? And is that like, do you have really good nighttime routines? What else are you doing well that's working for you? Are you taking really good care of your family? That's awesome. Now, if that's going well for you, can we start putting some of that on you? Can you say, I'm going to start treating myself like I would treat my partner? Or I'm going to start treating myself like I would treat my kids. I'm going to start talking to myself like I would treat my kids. So many of my clients have horrible self-talk, and I say to them, would you ever say that to your child? And they're like, oh my God, no. And so often our self-talk happens when we make a plan and then we don't follow through. We really shame ourselves. But one of the things I teach in my program is instead of shaming ourselves, if we get curious and think, oh, what went wrong? Okay, I told myself I was only going to have 3 drinks on 4th of July. I had 9. That wasn't good. But why did I do that? Not like, oh my God, you're such a mess, whatever. But like, why did I do that? Why in the moment did it feel so hard that I gave in? Let's get curious and let's figure out what your brain said to you that you believed, and let's do better next time. If you're like me, you've got a very fun life. And once 4th of July is over, like we have 4th of July fun, and then the next weekend we have Tahoe fun. So you've got another chance to give it another shot. Let's try it again. This is a marathon, not a sprint, my girlfriend. So let's try it again. So if you've been following along on my YouTube account, I would love to do this work with you. So I work with clients privately one-on-one, and I help them do everything I'm talking about here. I help them lose weight, help them get in their best health, eat better, drink less, move more, but not from a place of dieting, not from a place of total restriction, a place of doing things better, because that is what is sustainable. And if you are loving these questions and you want all of the questions and you want this journal, then I invite you to join me in the Aligned Life membership. We open up about the last week of every month is open for new enrollment for new women to join us. So there is a link. If you go to modernbodymodernlife.com, there's a link in the notes for this YouTube video. You can get on a wait list, and when I open doors, I will send you an email and I will invite you in. And if you're thinking you might want private coaching, then just schedule a consultation with me and we can talk about all of the things. I would love to talk about how I can help you, what this work looks like. So thanks for watching.